Growing up as a young girl, I always desired to impact lives through public speaking and through writing. So I was looking at how I can actually impact lives.
What was the intention of this book?
When I was starting out to write, like any other person, I was starting out to write, but I knew what I wanted to write about. And that was my own story. And my own story kept on bringing me back to self-discovery. How can one lead a purposeful life? How can one be able to walk in a life full of purpose? In this book, I incorporate my own story and the other insights that I've known growing up to tell my audience, to tell the people that are going to read this book. You don't just want to go through life and finish.
Yes.
Yeah? You need to live through life and actually leave an impact.
Yes.
Yeah?
You need to have a purpose-driven life.
Yes.
Welcome to another amazing episode of The Author's Mind. In the studio with me today is Linda Musime, a phenomenal writer. She is a public speaker, she's a self-discovery advocate, and the writer of this phenomenal book, You Are the Bigger Picture, Frame It Well. Thank you so much for coming to The Author's Mind, Linda.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for hosting me today.
Oh, amazing. So let's get into the gist of this book.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about You're the Bigger Picture, Frame It Well.
If I am to speak about this book, I wrote it because I love self-discovery a lot.
Yes.
I'm an advocate for self-discovery, and I've always believed that everyone should lead on a purposeful life.
Yes.
Because it's fulfilling. So this book is basically one of self-discovery in alignment to personal growth and career development. Yeah. In this book, we navigate everything that leads you to identifying the person that you are at heart, the talents that are within you, who you intend to be, and then we see how the other surrounding environment and the external factors and the internal can be in favor of that you are. And you see how you use that to impact lives, to impact those around you, to fulfill your heart, and also ensure that the name of the Lord is glorified.
Oh, amazing. I feel like when I read this book, it was a summary of it's like a guide for every young adult to have. Yeah. Because you highlight on some very important things, mentorship, the importance of how to handle your mentor and how to be with a mentor, how to be a mentee. How to have a relationship with God, which is, I feel like spirituality is very important and a very important part of our lives. How to live with purpose, not just living a life of you wake up in the morning and have no aim, have no goals. So I love the fact that you incorporated all that in. What was the intention of this book? What was behind your mind? What was at the back of your mind when you were saying, you know what, I think I should write all this knowledge I've found out about myself and put it in a book? Why?
Well, that's a very great question that I could actually speak about until the end of today, and I even take you into next year.
So okay, speak.
Well. So behind the heart of this book, growing up as a young girl, I always desired to impact lives.
Yes.
Yeah. And I always desired to impact lives through public speaking and through writing. So I was looking at how I can actually impact lives and tell them about what I know. Because I feel like we know too much to keep to ourselves. And it's also fulfilling when you touch someone else's life and they're like, oh my God, Linda touched my life. I read her book and my life has not been the same before. So when I thought about writing, I was thinking about this book reaching so many people and reading this, and they feel like my story could impact them and also get them started on the things they intend to do. Yeah. So when I was starting out to write, like any other person, I was starting out to write, but I knew what I wanted to write about. And that was my own story. And my own story kept on bringing me back to self-discovery. Yeah. How can one lead a purposeful life? How can one be able to walk in a life full of purpose? Yeah. So in this book, I incorporate my own story and the other insights that I've known growing up to tell my audience, to tell the people that are going to read this book. Yeah. And I want them to come here. You don't just want to go through life and finish.
Yes.
Yeah. You need to live through life and actually leave an impact. So that if they ask someone who comes after you and they're like, I know Jenny because she did this.
Yes.
Yeah?
You need to have a purpose-driven life.
Yes. And the other thing, I have always known one thing, that God put something special on the inside of us. And I think he also gets glorified when you are being able to do everything he created you to do.
Yes.
He didn't create you to just come on the earth and then be dormant and then go back to him. Yeah. Everyone has a special thing upon them. Yeah. There is something special he wrote on your name. And the day you realize that he created you for everything, and I can assure you that everything starts to work out.
Yeah.
It just takes you discovering your purpose, because when you're serving a purpose, it's helping you as an individual, it's helping those around you, and it's giving the name of the Lord glory. Yeah, it's lifting the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
And when you are walking in purpose, you're going to enjoy this life. Yeah, I like to tell people that when you walk in purpose, there is alignment, there is provision, everything is going to be working out for you, because that's what purpose does.
Yes.
And when you align in that purpose, everything about your life changes. That's when you'll get questions like, oh my God, Jenny, how come your life is like this?
Yeah.
Everything is always working out for you. It's because I'm doing something that is glorifying the name of the Lord.
I love the fact that you've really explained it so well. You know, so many times we have people living out here and they think, oh, I think my only reason to live is to make money and provide for my family and I'm happy, or get children and get married and that is it. But there is more. I like the fact that you understood that you cannot be the Linda of tomorrow that is very great without first knowing who you are, understanding the way you do your things. And I love the fact that you also incorporated it in the book. So as young people who are watching this, I want to, let us say, work on myself. I want to be a Linda. See me. Let me use that term. What are the steps I need to follow to reach that goal? You know, I know you've incorporated it, most of it in the book, but I'm talking about self-discovery.
Yeah.
How can I know myself? How can I understand that this is what I want, this is what I'm supposed to do? I'm in alignment to what God wants for us.
I like to tell people a lot that self-discovery is one very important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many good things happen to us, but I think another beautiful day among the days that happen to us, and they are great, is the day you discover your purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. And because when you discover your purpose, like I already said, everything changes. And now I'm going to take us through how a person can actually discover who they are. Mm-hmm. I'll use my own story, because even in this book, I used my own story. So yes. I'm basically telling you what is inside here. Yeah. When I was growing up, from when I was younger, yeah, there are always going to be things that feel like second nature when you take a deep look at yourself. Yeah. There are things that you do that someone else struggles to do. There are things that come so natural to you, while other people out there are like, Jenny, how do you do this? Yeah. And now me, as a young girl growing up, I always, even before I started school, we would have visitors at home, yeah? And I was always telling my sisters, I'm like, guys, we go and we dance for the visitors, because after they would give us money. Yeah. Yeah. And then after that, when I went into school, I always loved to address audiences. I always loved to speak. If it was leading a class discussion, I would stand before the classroom and I'm on the board and I'm explaining what we are studying about. I always loved to speak. Everything around me was about speaking. Now, when I started to actually understand and grow a little bit older, P6, P7 there, I was so much energized by anything that involved being in front of people and speaking. And I addressed assemblies the entire time. I was always in debate the entire time. I grew that to the extent that even my teachers in my primary school, when they were looking for people to take to radio talk shows to represent our school, and they're like, oh, we need someone who is going to speak about, for example, my school that I went to is called JV Model Primary School, all the way from Ibanda.
Okay.
And
tell us.
So the entire time, they were looking for people to go to the radio station and speak about the school. Linda's name came first on the
list.
Paper. Why? Because I branded myself like that. Meanwhile, back in the day, I didn't even know what it meant to brand yourself.
Yeah.
But because that's the kind of energy I gave out, they knew me for being a good speaker. And they always said, Linda is so articulated. She knows how to speak. Yeah. And because that's something I love to do, I stood up for positions, information, prefect.
Yes.
And then even when I went to secondary school, I never stopped. Yeah. I actually did that more and more. Then we had school inter-prayers day. I would go. Everything that involved to speak, to compete in speaking, I was always a part of things like that. Yeah. And then I just didn't know that while I did all of this was a strength that I would later recognize in the future. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. This had always been something that would be a life changer, a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Now, when I got to campus, why it's important to discover yourself. When you discover yourself, you actually align yourself.
Yes, you do.
Get into spaces that you actually need, because there you've known who you are. You know what to do to get yourself to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Now, when I came to Kampala to study my A-level from here, and now there I was looking at Kids of the City. So when we went for those seminars, I still represented my schools. When they said we are going for a history seminar, and I was so good at history. Guys, you're not shocked.
This was research.
Yeah.
Literally.
You're not shocked I wrote. I mean, I did history.
Yeah.
And the entire time I got an A. My whole S5, my whole S6. I did history so well like that.
Wow. You know, the way you're speaking about this thing, it kind of also gives me a little bit of the memories of my childhood. They're a bit similar because I was also, always in the limelight for some weird reason. I found myself applying for prefectship, going for debates, going for these seminars and all that stuff. Yeah. So I love the fact that you noticed those signs, because as grown-ups, most times you're thinking, I think I need to do something so completely different. I saw a quote somewhere, actually it was even a video on TikTok, where someone was saying, do you want to really know what your purpose is or what you're supposed to do? Go back to your childhood. Right. Those things you liked doing just for fun, that excited you, that is what you're supposed to be doing now. Yeah. Find a way of how to can make yourself, make money out of it, or help people with that talent. Yeah. Now, when I went to my A-level, I still always represented my schools in seminars. When they said history, I always had a number to discuss at seminars. Okay. Yes, madam. Whenever they said, we are going to set up for an economic seminar, I always had a number to discuss. Yeah. Because I love to speak. And for a person like me who really loved to speak, I always made thorough preparations. Guys, people like to say that it comes natural. It doesn't. It also takes work. Yeah,
you have to actually work on that. Whenever I'm going for an event to speak, I actually do rehearse. I do make research. I look for words I'll use, how I'll explain my point. Yeah. If it's a themed event, I go and make background research about it.
Yeah.
So when I got to secondary, now there I had actually grown. And now growing meant also growing all the other aspects of me. And why I keep telling people that self-discovery is very important, like I already said. You know who you are, you know where you fit, you know what you want to do, and all of that. I joined a lot of mentorship spaces, and I joined so many spaces that I could relate to, that I knew something before, but because I've been in this specific place, there are things that I've talked about, I'm like, hey, so it's not like this. Now I'm starting to mold. Now, it was through some mentorship space called Teachment and Educate. Shout out to Julia Muhumza. So I went through Teachment and Educate, and then I got to learn what it means to do personal branding. You know how you have an Instagram account and what's there is baddest girl. Guys, that's not branding. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Before you even continue, we have so many, people don't realize that as you grow up, it's no longer about you're a child, I made a mistake. like
Yeah.
it's everything you do is now your brand.
Yeah.
So if you're a thief, that is your brand. You are
That's
walking
your
around
brand.
and people are going to remember that. People are always going to remember that. The reason as to why you find some people are more successful than others is some people have a good record of positive comments from other people,
from other
and
people.
others negative comments from other people. So it's really important the way you put yourself out there.
Right.
You can continue.
Yeah. So after I joined Teachment and Educate, they taught us quite a couple of modules.
Yes.
Time management, personal branding, all of these things they taught us. And because I had already carved out my path, now they were just making it better. They were helping me to understand what I am mean better.
Yeah.
That if I had my Instagram account and I've been posting random things, the only thing I post is when I am out eating new food. You can't be a food critic because, okay, if you're always out and you're posting food, we'll label you as a food critic.
Yeah.
So now I got to learn about personal branding because they brought us people that would actually facilitate us and teach us about these things. And I did a whole rebrand of my Instagram account. I'm like, oh, so my Instagram account should actually have anything that is to do with speaking because it speaks to people about me. Yeah. I got to understand. Yeah. Because now you have discovered yourself, but now these spaces are helping you mold yourself better.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I got to understand personal branding. I started to be very intentional about what I post and what captions I attach because I had learned that personal branding goes all the way like that. Yeah. So I started to learn that you don't just post any random thing because currently even companies know how to check out your LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
That's how they don't find you competent enough to give you their position.
Actually, speaking of LinkedIn, let me even let people know today. People don't know this. Do you know that when you type, let us say Linda Musime,
Yeah.
the first account that appears on Google
It's LinkedIn.
is LinkedIn.
That's
LinkedIn,
right.
X, then maybe Instagram. And I'm like, when I found that out, I was like, I need to take these things very serious.
Very
And people don't know that they're saying my business is not moving or my brand is not going out there. But you don't have a LinkedIn account. Anyways, please tell them.
Yeah, so you guys, when I learned about personal branding, I started to be intentional.
Yeah.
What my bio says about me, what I post, and everything has to literally be very curated. Yeah. And when I actually did that, now I had a target audience.
Yeah.
Because how you brand yourself will attract people towards you. Now, if I had not discovered myself in the first place, I wasn't going to find the need to join a certain mentorship space because I wouldn't be interested. But when you discover yourself, I think I would like for us to connect these things.
Yes.
Now, I was a public speaker and now I was looking for things that could help me be better. Yeah. And now from there, I learned all of these things and that was a difference. Yeah, that was a difference. My life changed from what it was previously before this space. And now after I had graduated from this space, I was totally a whole new person. I got to learn it from Teachment and Educate. We call it TM in short. Teachment and Educate that time management is very crucial. Personal branding is very important. And one statement I remember from Julia Muhumza was that your brand precedes you in rooms you're not in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So when we were younger, we used to think that when we speak about branding, it's for celebrities.
The bougie people, actually.
It's for the influencers. But personal branding today goes for everyone.
It does.
You see, LinkedIn is such a great app. When you brand yourself a certain way, people that are interested in the same things that you do, they will approach you.
Yes.
They will approach you. I've sold so far 12 copies to people on LinkedIn. They didn't know me, but they were just following up with what I do, what this book is about, and all of that. Now I'm just imagining. Yeah, please.
I love the fact that you said that you sold 12 copies on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Because many writers, some I've also interviewed, some out there, they complain. Guys, I've made my book, no one is buying. You're not putting yourself out there. You're not doing. Let me tell you. I feel like what you can consider as complete failure is when you've done everything to ensure you succeed at that thing, of which most times you won't even fail.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think God is that wicked to make you fail like that.
No.
Why don't you say that? Why don't you open your LinkedIn account, sell those books?
Yeah. So just in case you're out there and you hadn't yet known about personal branding, I also learned it from somewhere, and now I'm telling you about it and its cruciality, because it's very crucial.
It's very...
And let's maximize our social media platforms.
Yeah.
Because today the world is going digital. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't use your TikTok to just scroll through and go away. Yeah. Don't use your Instagram to just post the dopest picture you take. Yeah. That dope picture will not bring you money on your, or food on your plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are in an era whereby if you're not courageous enough, if you're not bold enough, I have a friend who likes to tell me, Linda, be shameless. Yeah? Not in a bad way, but be able to be out there. Yeah. Show up.
Yes.
Don't hide, because if you hide, no one is going to see you.
one.
If you don't speak up, no one is ever going to see you. If you don't tell the world that this is me, I do this, they will never dream about the fact that you do a certain thing that you do.
You see these points you've been mentioning over and over again. I feel like as young people, we are really wasting too much time. All these points you have said, if we follow them stealthily, book by book, I don't think we can fail. Why are we complaining and crying and saying we don't have money, we are broke, or we don't have this? We have opportunities. We're not putting ourselves out there, which is a very important aspect. We're not having accounts that can sell us. We're not branding ourselves well. Even, I feel like branding is not just even on just social media. With your friends.
Right.
Who are you? Are you a fake person? That is what is going to sell you everywhere you go. That person is fake, and people are going to see that. Anyways, let's go to the next point. I believe you spoke about mentors in the book, and a lot of mentors and the importance of mentoring. What's the most uncomfortable truth your mentor has ever told you? Any mentor of yours, because I know you have many mentors.
Yeah.
So, like, what is that one thing your mentor has told you and you felt like,
I have so many instances I could share with everyone. Yeah. And one specific one that I'll start with is actually about this book.
okay.
When I was going to start to write this book, I knew I wanted to write. I had the idea in my head, and I just didn't know what I wanted to write about. And yeah, I reached out to one of my mentors, and I told him, I want to write. His next question was, what do you want to write about? And I'm like, I want to write about personal branding. And these were his words. Linda, do you know there are people that have written about personal branding in the best possible way than you will ever match? I'm like, yeah, that's so true. Though that stung, like, it felt like as though he was saying, you're not that good.
Or you're going to fail if you do.
Yeah, you're not that good to really write about personal branding.
Yeah.
But what he was saying was true. It was facts, yeah? And he didn't just leave it hanging. He came back down to my level, and he asked me, what's going to make your book unique? And I'm like, I was just quiet.
Yeah.
And he went ahead and he told me, I think what's going to make your book unique is when you write about your story. Now, keep in mind that I had an idea. I wanted to write. All I knew is that I wanted to write, and I wanted to write about personal branding. But it took me a whole little consultation from my mentor to actually have direction. So I had an idea, and I spoke to my mentor, and my mentor gave it direction. So when he told me, write about your story, I went back and I thought so hard about what my story could possibly be. And when I thought about my story, and I thought so hard, I thought when I want to do something, I'm so obsessive. I'll not stop until I've actually started. So I kept on thinking, I'm like, which one could possibly be my story? And my story was one of self-discovery. The more I thought about it, the more I came back to self-discovery. So just think about the instance where I just didn't go to consult with my mentor. I would have still gone ahead to write about personal branding, and I wouldn't actually have what to write about personal branding. I'll just be writing definitions and so many other things that every other person has already written about. But I had the idea and I talked to my mentor. My mentor gave me direction. And when I started to write about self-discovery, I had everything to write. I kept on, I was having literally a pour out of words, because what I was writing, I could now relate and it was moving. I wasn't struggling to write because I had what to write. I knew what I was writing. But initially, if anyone ever asked me if I knew what I was writing about, I didn't know. So that's pointing out the importance of a mentor.
Yes.
And the entire time, whenever he met me, he would ask me, how far? So you know that when you stop, your mentor is going to ask you how far. And they're going to wait for the book you told them you were writing about, and it's not getting released. It's not getting done.
A mentor is an accountability partner.
A mentor and an accountability partner. Those
are two different things. So I need you to differentiate between a mentor and an accountability partner. Because so many times people think your mentor is your accountability partner. But the thing is, you're not the same level. So help us understand what's the difference between a mentor and an accountability partner.
I'll use my case in point. When all the mentors I have today, I looked for them. I looked for them. I sat down with them, and when I was looking for them because they were doing things that inspired me. I didn't just reach out to a random person and they mentored me. They were doing things that I was interested in, and they were way too good. They were literally like, I don't want to use my idol. It's not the right word to use. There were people I looked at, I'm like, wow. What does this person do that makes them be like the way they are? And I wanted to be like them. Of course, I can't be like them, but they could tell me, this is what I've done. This is what I used to do when I was young like you. And they are older and they are better, because as it should be, a mentor should be way better than you. Your friend can't be your mentor. I mean, they will just support your delulu. Even when it's not even adding up, they'll support it. So your friend can't be your mentor. A mentor must be someone who is better than you in everything, in high gear. Because what they're telling you about, they have gone through it, they know how it works and all. Then when I come to the part of an accountability partner, I had an accountability partner in regards to finances. I was just starting out to work, and I went through a financial literacy program, but it didn't make any sense. Because they taught me truths, but I couldn't put those truths in practice. I couldn't. It took my accountability partner to hold me accountable. And they gave me a notebook and they told me, Linda, I'm going to give you this notebook. From today onwards, you're going to write the money you spend. If you got a border of 3,000, you are going to write border 3,000. If you received any money, you will write it down without lying, without doing anything. You will write it down. It felt so hard because I'm like, how can I write all my money that I receive? But I'll tell you how it helped me. Every money I received, I wrote in the book. Every money I spent, I wrote in the book. And every week on Sunday, I would bring the book and I would show her. It should be like, you've been spending too much money on border. I'm thinking you start using a taxi. I'm here so used to the border. I'm thinking about the jam of a taxi. But they are taming you by force. By force. You don't want to do something, but they are taming you.
So what I want to understand, does an accountability partner need to also be older than you?
It should be someone you can respect.
So they're like a mentor, but tougher.
But now, an accountability partner. For them, I wrote something in this book where I wrote about my finances. I'm like, I knew whenever I received money, my accountability partner would ask me how much I've saved, and she would need evidence. On the other hand, the mentor will just advise you on the right thing to do, but they'll not force you to do it.
Wow. So we all need accountability
You
partners.
do. You
Actually, to some extent, I'm starting to think that I think we need these accountability partners more
Yes.
than the mentors.
Yes.
Though it's very important to have a mentor as well.
It's
someone
very
to
important.
look up to, someone who can, advise you.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that you've brought the importance of accountability.
Yeah.
Because so many times, as young people, now we are grown, no one is there to tell your parents are not there, your teachers are not there. So we need someone to keep us in check.
Right.
Someone to tell you, what, Jenny? You're an overspender. But to be honest, I feel like that the money thing is scary.
And
it's really
now,
scary.
I'll drive us to where it changed my life. Whenever I got my money, I'm such an impulsive spender, but I don't want to define myself like that because I'm not anymore. I have discipline today because of my accountability partner.
Yeah.
Whenever I received money, these things of impulsive spending that I would do, I would bypass town and I see a nice shoe and I buy it.
Yeah.
I stopped. Yeah. Because I knew if we take off savings and then we take off tithe, I'll not remain with enough to take me up to the end of the month. So I started to fear for myself. I'm like, no, I won't buy this, I won't buy that. Because she would tell me, Linda, this is going to be adequate for you. Why an accountability partner should be someone you respect is because when they say something, you will respect it.
Yes, without questioning. Thinking twice.
When it's your friend, you'll be like, it's my money, it's not yours. I'm the one who makes it, you're not the one who makes it.
Yeah.
And it shaped how I started to look at money. The person that used to finish the month with no savings at all, I went from having no savings to actually finishing the month and I have money somewhere. And then I eventually found my footing. Then I started to do it because I realized that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So I wrote in this book that the very system that we used to fight as young children, when we were in school, and they're like, this metron, God, and they want you to shower every day and you don't want it because it's in the morning and water is very cold.
Yes.
And teachers wanted us to speak English and you didn't want to, like, everything. Now, that's the very system we used to fight when we were younger. You realize that it's actually the same system that we seek out for today.
Which brings in the aspect of discipline.
Yes.
It's very important if you really want to succeed as a young person to have discipline. Because it's only a disciplined person who understands I need an accountability partner.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a mentor. I need to make sure I keep my finances in check. I need to make sure I am doing what is in alignment to what God wants for me.
That's true. Now, I reached an extent, I reached a point in my life and I was thinking, you actually never have total freedom. Because the moment you start to have all the freedom, you will do anything you want. And it will bring me back to fearing the Lord. Yeah. Just imagine we can do as we want. We won't become anything.
Yeah, that is very true.
Because to get a certain discipline, you practice it. Yeah. You can't totally get so free. Because if I was so free like that, I know there are people that will hold me accountable for how I live my life. It's my life, yes, but I can't live a certain way because I'm conscious I have a certain accountability partner that wouldn't want to see me in a club.
Yeah.
It will come off very terrible, not because they'll cane me, not because they'll beat me, but now I'm trying to fight for how my image looks before this person. Are you seeing what accountability does to a person?
Yeah.
There are things you won't do, not because you can't do them, but it's because there are people that hold you accountable. There are people that have invested so much in you. Yeah? And you can't just throw it all away.
No, you can't.
So those things where you grow up and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get my own freedom. I get out of this house and do this. Today I have a job and I can't be out beyond 9 because if I don't sleep early, it will torture me. Not because I don't want to hang out with friends and leave at midnight, which I can't do, but because now I'm accountable at work.
Yes.
I need to show up and actually be productive.
And to do that, you need to sleep early. You need to be home early.
Right.
These are things people do not see.
Exactly. So you can never totally be so free.
Yeah.
That's why you need people that will hold you accountable so that you're not living your life for you alone. When you're living it also for people and for God, there are some things we do just because we have a God that we fear. And like, if it weren't for God, Jenny, what you did, you are going to see the me that you've never seen.
That's why I also believe it's a very beautiful aspect to have a spiritual relationship with Jesus.
That's
and
right.
to know God and say, you know what, this is not right because of my spiritual belief, or this is not right because my mentor says no. You need to, I feel like we have normalized living wild. Let me use that term. We have normalized living wild in a world that requires a lot of discipline to succeed. You cannot succeed if you don't have a disciplined life. So this book is having a lot of things, and we can talk up to morning. That's the truth.
That's right.
But I want you to give us at least 5 main things that even if it's a layman, as they're watching this, they can pick from this episode. So that at least by the time they get the book, they're like, oh, Linda said this, and this is very true. I've applied it in my life. 5 main things.
Okay, 5 main things. I'll start with the major theme. This book is all about self-discovery.
Yes.
I feel like the best thing that can happen to anyone is when they have known who they are and they have started to walk in the purpose God created them for. You spoke about something earlier where you said, we don't do things because we feel like we don't have money. And now I want to tell you something that is going to give you hope. When you start to walk in purpose, everything of yours is covered in the Lord.
Thank you.
It is. Because when He created you for this thing and you've realized it and you've started to walk in this thing, dominion mandate is going to be your portion.
Yes.
You will not worry about money because God will just provide for you. Yeah, I keep telling people that when I was publishing this book, I didn't have the money to publish this book. Because if you're out there and you've published,
My fellow writers.
you know how costly publishing is. And I had just graduated. I graduated last year in September, and I had just joined formal employment. So of course I didn't have enough. Yeah. But this book got published, and I even remained with a huge balance of money. Yes. So what am I trying to tell you? When I tell you that when you walk in purpose, everything works out, I mean what I'm saying. When you walk in purpose, there is going to be provision, there is going to be alignment, there is going to be the right people, the right opportunities. I was supposed to launch this book on the 20th of September, and I launched it on the 28th of October. Yeah? In the most beautiful way than I had thought about in my individual mind. Because my plan was actually really small. I was intending to invite just 100 people, and I launched my book before over 5,000 people. And with an audience that had individuals,
that were big. Yeah, we saw. By the way, your book, I feel like your book launch was really a success.
Yeah.
And yes, and what you're saying about the fact that we need to be in alignment with God is very important. Because people constantly mistake purpose every single time. What's my purpose? I don't know. I just want to make money. Like, bro, what's up? This is 2025. You cannot just live like that. You need to live in alignment to your life.
The very first chapter in my book is called Discovering Your Identity in God and Living the Purpose He Designed for You. I've found out this one truth that I'll share with people that are going to listen to us, that are going to be watching us, that I've tested it and I've seen it. Yeah. There is no way God's hand won't be upon you, and things won't be by your own doing, unfortunately. Okay, fortunately, because you're lucky you don't have to go through all of that, and God just works it out all for you. Yeah. You will find that all you need to do is walk in your purpose and trust in the Lord. He works out every other thing, for the glory of His name. The second thing that I would say, when you're finished to find who you are, to find your purpose. And now I'm going to tell you that you will need to now also start to put in the effort. And when I say put in the effort, I told you I was a public speaker, but it took me to go through spaces that actually shaped me better. Yes. I was a public speaker who didn't know how to brand herself. Yeah, I have gotten events that I've emceed that from when I started to brand myself that I'm a speaker. Yeah, and I wouldn't have known what it means to brand myself if I had not sought out for spaces like that. Yeah. So first, you've discovered yourself. Second, start to look around you. Yeah. Because you no longer fit in some spaces. They are not meant for you, and that's not just who you are. And then I'll also tell you that utilize all the opportunities that come your way. And I want to expound on this further. I studied at Victoria University, graduated there, and I'm currently working there. And now, I'm doing my master's there in the same place. Thank you so much. So, Victoria University, I like to tell people that Victoria University is a place of so many opportunities. So many opportunities. And I don't just want to limit that to Victoria University, even other universities. And outside the university, there are also so many other opportunities.
Yeah.
So what am I trying to tell the young adults? Don't just go through campus and get out and that's it. I actually like to tell people, when I was in Victoria University, we get placed for internships. And I did my internships at Speak Apartments on Peo Avenue.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was just given an opportunity to work there. And I saw other people that were coming from other places and they were denied internship places. But I was given an internship place and I didn't do anything for it. I was just put there. Now, my role was to actually be my best.
Yes.
Victoria had done its part, and now I also had to play my part. By the time I left Speak Apartments on Peo Avenue, the HR there, she's called Miss Florence. She was telling me, Linda, if you want a job, you can actually come. Because after I had been put in the space, I utilized the opportunity very well.
The power of excellence.
Exactly.
Actually,
our God is also a God of excellence.
He is, because I was going to quote a Bible verse.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the verse, but it's in Daniel.
Yeah.
The fact that Daniel was chosen because of his excellence. Excellence should be part of someone who wants to be successful.
Yeah.
Because don't expect to do shady work and expect people to recommend
to
you.
praise you
or
and
say,
clap
yes,
for you.
congratulations, Jenny. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So let's, before you finish, let me first remember the points, because I want people to remember these points. Number 1, purpose. Self-discovery and purpose. Number 2, effort.
Yes.
Number 3,
utilize all
every opportunity that comes to you. Make sure you grasp it and do your very best.
Yes.
Number 4.
Now, before I even finish that point, there are places when I was still a student at Victoria University, there are spaces I used to enter by simply mentioning I was from Victoria University. But then I tell these young ones that are still at Victoria University, and I tell them, utilize these opportunities Victoria University sets you up for, so that even when you've graduated and you're no longer attached to Victoria University, you can still go to the same place, and be welcomed there. Why? Because when Victoria University gave you that footing, now you built on that and built your own name.
Yes.
That I can still walk into Speak Apartments and say I am Linda Msimerezet, and they'll welcome me in without having to say I'm a student at Victoria University.
That is true.
Now I'm saying use the opportunities to grow your foundation so that these will be your building stone even after you've graduated.
You've never said it any better. So, perfect, amazing, excellence.
It might not even be just within the university. It might be, it will also be outside. Let me add that part where I like to tell people that the 20s are the youngest will ever be. Milk them. You have the energy. Your mind is fresh. Your creativity is up there.
Yeah.
Do not lose that. Because in your 30s, there is a way our creativity starts to kind of fade. Because we are preoccupied with a lot of things. Yeah?
It's true.
So build your big foundation today in your 20s. The 4th one that I could tell the people, time. I've just even spoken about 20. It has just ushered me to time. Yeah. Time management is a very crucial thing. I wrote about it here.
In the book.
And I remember writing somewhere where I said, I don't want to be in my late 30s and I look back and I tell myself there is so much I could have done when I actually can do it now. Time is one thing that we actually don't take so seriously, but it's actually very essential.
Yeah.
My friend, I was at a friend's podcast launch, and her theme is starting early. And I couldn't find any other better theme. Yeah. And she likes to urge people, start early.
Start now.
Because when you start now, you find footing. You start to be an expert in what you're doing. And you're better than a person who keeps saying, I'll start tomorrow.
Yeah.
So mind time, because we will not be this young forever.
That is very
Years
true.
keep on going by, and I keep telling people, when you're turning a new age and you're achieving your goals, it doesn't feel as worrying as when you're just adding on years and there is nothing you've done in all of those years God is trusting you with. Yeah.
That is very true.
And I don't think God would be happy with a person who is not utilizing what he put inside of them. Utilize what you have and build the foundation for your 30s and the years to come.
Yeah, because when you start now, let us say you're 19 years old, imagine when you're 25 how you'll be.
Right. And the fifth and the final one, I have so many, but this is going to be the last. Jenny
Yes.
told me to give you guys 5.
Yeah, 5 for now.
Yeah.
5 for now.
So the fifth one is that use your social media to your advantage.
Yeah.
Today, it's so good how everything is in our sight. We don't struggle. We're not like our parents back in the day. Today, everything is on our we know what's happening in the US. We know what future has been added to AI. We even have AI, guys. We have ChatGTP. Use those things to your advantage. Go on search engine optimizations and search up. There is a lot of information online, a lot of opportunities online.
On top of that, you're even lucky enough to have a smartphone.
Right?
So let me tell you guys, our parents in those times, it was a privilege to have a phone, right?
Yeah.
Like to even go and browse. They used to call it surfing.
Yes.
Yeah, surfing the internet was like a privilege to
Yeah.
have. So right now we have opportunities. We have everything is there for us. We are just
Yeah.
not paying attention and being serious with these things.
Right. So use your internet, use social media to your advantage. When I say that Google has a lot of things, there is a program a friend of ours was telling me about. It's called Be Visionaires, sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. And all they want you to do is have a planet positive idea to
Yeah.
apply there. Yeah.
See.
And when you have your positive planet idea and you apply there, and then you get in, you have free mentor. Everything is so free. You have free mentorship. They help you develop your prototype, your project. Yeah. A project that could actually change your entire life if you're serious. Yeah. Because they do a lot of hands-on. So if it's, for example, you want to combat deforestation through what, for example? You want to combat deforestation through encouraging growing of trees and not wasting the environment and all of that, they need to see hands-on. Yeah. And when you grow your project and someone has mentored you through it, you're being mentored by smart people from all over the world. Yeah. And then you've developed it to, it's literally giving you an exam and giving you a cheat code, and then they tell you come and pitch. So after you've grown your project, you go and pitch, and after you've pitched and your project is a success, they give you seed.
Wow.
Yeah. This thing could take you very far in life. Yeah. And those things are online. If you don't search, you won't see them. You won't know they are such projects. I've seen the Mandela Washington Fellowship.
Yes,
they are
the Mandela
online. I've seen Yali. I've seen so many things you can actually apply and be a part of and learn from people and align with like-minded individuals.
You
So
have
that's
you
the
have
fifth.
really I just love the fact that you've expounded these points very well. So as a young person watching us, not even young, any person you're watching us today, please pick these 5 points. If you have a chance, please also get a copy of this book. I'm telling you, it will change your life. It has the cheat code for everything you're supposed to do. If you follow this, I believe at least you'll be somewhere in life as an individual, as a young person, and as someone who wants to be successful. Sadly, we've come to the end of this very beautiful episode. I know we've not tackled so many things because this book is really, it takes time to go to the nitty-gritty and all that, and I'm hoping maybe we can even have a part 2 at this point because it's just, yeah, it has a lot of information. So when you do have a chance, get a copy of this book.
Oh, it's coming on Amazon real soon.
Yes, we're going to soon have it on Amazon. But where can someone get a copy right now?
Yeah, they will take my number for now. You can
Okay.
reach out and I can just deliver.
All right. At just 50,000 Uganda shillings, it can change your life. Thank you so much for this time. I know you're very busy with all the amazing things you're doing, but thank you for sparing time to come to the Author's Mind. We really loved having you. My name is Jenny, and this is the Author's Mind.